Hey everyone, the team over at CI Games have continued working on rolling out fixes for the game. The patch notes I'll be going are for PC, but there should be overlap fixes to those on console as well. Due to the nature of how different platforms work, it's far easier to roll out patches on PC than it is on Microsoft Xbox and Sony's PlayStation. I don't claim to know all the ins and outs, but have an understanding how it works to some degree. I'd imagine those on console will get one big major patch for the game because they need to be properly certified before release, as to not brick your console, and cost related reasons, so it's better to package up as much as possible. But I digress. I'll highlight the major fixes, but you're more than welcome to read the notes. The links will be in the description box. So the other day, I made a video for the patch notes from Monday and Tuesday on PC that went live on Wednesday. Right when it did go live, there was another patch note that they had that rolled out, which was, I'm just gonna call it 0.207. In this one, to read all the details, link to it will be in the description if you want to read all of it. But to summarize, a lot of it is just more stability fixes, as you can see, as well as optimization fixes that they have for the game. And then for multiplayer, it said fix an issue where the audio from the host could sometimes not be heard by the client when in spectator mode after dying. Then for gameplay, in some instance when using the lamp to traverse certain platforms in Axiom, falling would trigger the fall animation twice. Now it's only triggered once instead. And then for the AI, it says fix enemies that could sometimes be spawned in a T-pose at the lower part of the Mancy. I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know what a Mancy is. Tweak the Nev mesh on a small section of the lower cow raft to help AI navigate better in the complex environment setup. Trapper traps can now be destroyed with range options such as arrow, grenades, magic, and more. For quests, in one of the character quests, there was a big door that would disappear. Now when it disappears, it does so with style, as we've added moth particle systems to the disappearance. Then there's more collision fixes, as well as audio and Steam Deck fixes as well, if you guys want to read more on that. Now we're going to be onto the one that dropped Friday this morning, which is patch 0.214, as I'm gonna call it. Okay, so for this patch, it says here, greeting lamp bearers. As usual, we continue our quest to squash bugs in order to improve stability and performances. Additionally, Fighting Cowboy hosted a Q&A session in which the community was able to inquire about various topics related to Lords of the Fallen. Feel free to check it out here. I'll be sure to include this for you guys in the description box. He also touches upon New Game Plus as well. So shout outs to Fighting Cowboy for asking Saul that. You should just watch it. I'll have the timestamp as well if you do. And then it says here, at last but not least, we have seen the community is really engaging with our faction shrines. Shrine of Adyr is now fully unlocked. Shrine of the Putrid Mother Tier 2 has been unlocked. And Shrine of Oris. And I'll show you guys too what the shrines look like and where you can find them if you're not sure. Also, I would say that it is nice that they do have that in this game, because I felt like something that's been missing from the more recent FromSoft games is the lack of factions and, you know, having an incentive to work together or whatever to unlock a new weapon or a new armor or whatever. So I like that they're doing it in this game. Then there's more stability fixes here, it seems like, for AMD as well as NVIDIA users. When I booted the game up earlier, I got prompted to update my game to the latest drivers, so I made sure to do that. Anything that helps with the performance and optimization for the game. Then, as well as more optimization fixes here, you can see collision optimization in the lower Cal Raft storehouse surroundings. You can read all the details, like I said. Then for multiplayer, fixes and issues in which the clients could lose the ability to move under certain conditions, ensure that health, mana, and I can't pronounce this, I'm just gonna call them heals, y'all know what it is, are refreshed whenever you join co-op or PvP, and when getting back to your world, invaders though will have half of their heals when they spawn to avoid endless battles. Balancing, the Parry Guard protection has been increased to 80% as announced in today's stream with Fighting Cowboy. It also avoids receiving any elemental damage or ailments. For AI, runers now have a higher chance to trigger their fearful charge. Runers now aim their shield fire attack at players more accurately. Beware. Those guys can be annoying to deal with, where I guess that's where I'm at now, where I run into them. Then it says, parasites now follow their host more quickly to prevent them from straying too far when the player pulls the host far away. If they're blocked, they will teleport to the host to aid the player who are siphoning them by staying close. Okay, yeah, that's good. Sometimes, like, yeah, I feel like I'm looking at the enemy, but then I don't see the parasite, like it's much further behind. So that's definitely a nice change. We followed an issue where the pilgrim perched pilgrims could sometimes shoot through certain structure. This issue has now been fixed. For bosses, it says, we observe an instance where Reinhold's stab attack was propelling the player in a random direction. This issue has now been fixed. Menacious Visage will now react correctly with the camera if the player is positioned between the boss and the camera. Okay, that's the boss. If you don't know what he looks like, it's the one you've seen in the trailers here. The one with the face or whatever that opens up with like the little umbral guy inside. That's what that one is, I believe. Then for level design, there's been fixes and stuff here. More collision has been addressed. Then for visuals, it says here, several armor sets including the Marksman armor, Sin Piercer belt, and the Condemned chest have been adjusted to address minor clipping issues that occur when using extreme character sizes. Strong or thin, a few fire decals and lower Calraf had undergo further optimization and visual enhancement. Fixed an issue where a bush was clipping through the wall in the Manse of the Hollow Brothers. Camera vibrations on some elevators have been adjusted to reduce exaggerated camera shakes. Fix a soul flayable spirit that was hard to hit due to the art surrounding it. There's been more UI fixes as well. It says, fix an issue for stackable items sold in vendors where it could show a higher number than the actual available purchasable amount after going through an anchor once. Improve navigation on faction shrines with a gamepad so you don't have to go all the way down to move from tier to tier. Increase the password limit for multiplayer to 8 characters. Remove a prompt warning of the presence of an umbral path from a boss arena and it only appears after the fight is over. Interact prompts sometimes were not displaying the correct key binding depending on the chosen key. One of the issues I've still noticed that I've had with, like, I guess the UI or controls, at least on PC, is every single time I boot up the game, I end up having to rebind all of my keys that I have again. So yeah, that is it for the patch notes. I would love to hear your thoughts below in the comment section, what you're hoping to see, and have a good one.